swear the hold music is the best part of the stream.
There you
It,
go.
it is. It definitely gets you kind of pumped.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Feature of StreamYards. Well, it's Sunday. We haven't done a Sunday on the stream in a while, but Sundays here until I'm ready to gear up again for some more Shadowrun. It's just kind of a playtest Sunday, also new game Sunday. This Sunday, it's a new game Sunday because it's out. Sword of Meropis on drive-through in both PDF, and you can get your physical copies. It's a pretty book. Let's start off by saying that the art is very evocative, and the hardback is quite nice. But that's what we're playing tonight, and we're going to go through it all for you folks out there. Character gen and onward, little adventure going on. Okay, so let us get started here. Guys, grab a character. I just have them all labeled as, where are they? Oh, you guys have name. Oh, you're ahead of me. Okay, I see how it is. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to open up Jake here so we can follow along on the screen. So you have 4 attributes: wise, hail, agile, and mighty. To get those scores, 3d6, and then put your roll into each one of those. And so that we don't throw up all over each other's rolls, why don't let's start with who do I want to pick on? Oh, Chuck, let's start with you. Go ahead and do your 4 3d6 rolls. And it doesn't really say if you've got to go right down the line or not, so I'll let you do 4 3d6 rolls and put them where you like.
3d6. That's it. First one's an 8, 12, 10, and a 12. All right. I can handle that.
Okay, Jake, I'll let you do the same with your character now.
Yeah, ready? 8, 14, 10, 18.
Ooh!
Nice. My turn?
Oh, yeah, go right in.
All right. So we got that first one. My finger literally twitched. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just putting them down the line. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, now you can choose one of these things. You can add a +3 to any one of those attributes. You can add a +2 to one and a +1 to another, or you can add a +1 to 3 different ones. Do that now.
I am going to throw a +3 on Ninja. Turning my 12 into a 15.
What are you doing, Jake?
I think I'm just going to stack Mighty as high as it'll go. So 18 plus 3.
You know what? I'll stack Wise up to 16.
Okay, so let's start with that. Wise. Has anyone got a 14 or better in Wise?
I do.
Okay, you can be a god caller, essentially a cleric, or a sorcerer. Do you have a 16?
I do have a 16.
If you have a 16, you can be both.
Okay.
All at once, at the same time, both god caller and sorcerer. There's a slight however to that. In that when you roll poorly, you suffer the problems from both classes all at once.
I'm down for that. Let's do that.
You're down for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So God Caller and Sorcerer. So we'll get back to you in just a second. The next thing is Hail. All right. So there is, if you're following along, you can open up the character creation if you're not watching it on the stream. Your attribute gives you a damage threshold. And I think I threw... Yeah, damage threshold is the last one on the attributes list. So figure out what your Hail attribute is, look it up, and put that in your damage threshold. What this is when someone's damages you, they have to get equal to or higher than this number to actually cause you a wound. So it's effectively your armor class.
Okay.
know when everyone gets that. Next thing is agile. It tells you how many dodge points you have, or how many times you can cause someone to miss you during action. It's your ability to dodge. So look up your agile, figure out how many dodge points you have, and well, look at that. I didn't have a place to write it down.
Oh, no.
Oh, but we can add an attribute.
Yeah, if you can add it, go ahead and put the dodge points in there. All right, the last thing is mighty. This tells how much damage you do when you inflict damage. Look up your attribute, and it tells you what die size your damage roll is going to be. Most rolls are a D12 plus extra, but with damage, it's just straight whatever that die size is. So again, I seem to have forgotten to put in a melee damage attribute, so please do. There's no official character sheet for this, so I'm just kind of hacking it on Roll20. Next up is skills. So you see the skills in your character sheet there. You have 10 points that you can spend. You can't put more than 3 into any one of them. However, if you don't want to look through all the list and decide what you want, open up the archetypes, and they have conveniently given you a skill build out for various like merchant, thief, sorcerer, god caller, hunter, warrior. You don't have to follow this. It's just a quick and dirty. If you want to just go ahead and distribute your 10 points yourself, go right ahead. When you distribute points, 1 point is a D4, 2 points is a D6, and 3 is a D8. On this sheet, the easiest way to do this is just to rename the skill to, let's say, acrobatics D6. Just change the name of the skill so you know what you put in there. Easiest way to do it.
Okay.
Now, you might ask, what does a particular ability do? Well, you tell me. They're meant to be encompassing a lot of different things. There is no definition for any of the skills. You just simply ask, hey, would this work in this situation? And then we figure it out.
All right. I'm going to stick pretty close. I'm going to go thief. I am going to drop begging to increase the ranged up to a D6.
Yeah. However you want to spread it up there, it's just fine. If you are both a god caller and sorcerer, there's a couple of skills you're going to want to have.
Okay.
Because this is basically how you cast your spells.
Right.
It is going to be religion and
Magic.
Magic, yeah.
Okay.
We got 10 points, right?
10 points. No more than 3 points in any skill.
All right.
Okay.
I believe I've spent my skills.
I'm just going to go with warrior.
I did a mix of god color and sorcerer skills. So
Yeah.
Tried to look for areas of overlap.
You also start with one-handed weapon, light armor, and a shield. You can trade your shield in to either get to turn your one-handed weapon into a two-handed weapon, or to upgrade your light armor to medium, or to have a second one-handed weapon. So the shield is a variable. You can either have it or not have it and have something else. So the benefits of a two-handed weapon. So every weapon does the same damage, whatever your base damage is based on your attribute. However, a two-handed weapon will add an additional D4 to that damage. But when you're trying to dodge an opponent, instead of it taking one of your dodge points, it takes two. So you're slower with a two-handed weapon.
Okay.
The benefit of a shield is you can trade that shield in and have it smashed up real good after taking an attack and seeing what the damage is. You can just choose to have that shield take it all.
Where would I go to make that decision?
Oh, just put it under your bio and info. Just write down what you have chosen for your weapon, armor, and shield.
Okay.
So bio and info, and then hit edit so that you can type in the fields down there.
I think I'm going to swap my shield out for a second one-handed weapon.
Mm-hmm. All right, just let me know when you guys have that.
All right, I've got mine in.
I'm all done.
Same.
All right, well, that's character creation, and we're just going to start off. So, you guys have been sailing up the coast in a nice little trireme called the Mythos, and you've been paid to recover a princeling that somehow went missing from the close by city. Let me get my notes out here. What did I name the city? What is the name of the city? Milius. Which is it's a moderate city. It's got a large shipyard, which is its claim to fame. And you guys are kind of ne'er-do-wells. You've spent some time on boats, adventuring for coin, doing what you have to do. But we're going to start this right off in combat because you found the princeling. You found the princeling high on a rocky ledge. Your boat, the Mythos, parked far, far below you. You scaled this mountain, a feat in itself, finding the young princeling in a gigantic nest. Stranded up here, the young princeling, too weak to be able to climb himself up or down from the cliff. You're here to rescue him. We'll assume you have rope and gear to help with that. But as you're about to figure out how to lower the princeling, who's a fair rock of a boy at 310 pounds, eats a lot.
That's a big boy.
There is the sound of beating wings above you. There is a great bird descending to the nest below. You're noticing that scattered in this nest are some eggs, shattered and broken. The prince, looking rather egg-like himself, with a mostly bald pate, and he's very round. The creature is bringing in talonfuls of worms to maybe feed the fat princeling, but cries out in alarm as he sees that you're making away with its offspring. Initiative is based on what you want to do. So let's just go down the list. John, what do you want to do?
You know what? I'm a sorcerer. I'll cast a spell at it.
Okay, you're going to cast a spell. Are you going to pray or are you going to cast? Since you can do both.
I'm going to pray. Or
You're
I'm sorry,
pray.
cast.
Oh, cast, going to cast. Okay,
Let's
let
do
me
the
bring up
casting.
the sorcerer crib sheet. Okay, so it's a magic test. Let's have you go ahead and roll it. So it's a D12 plus whatever die size you have in your magic skill. So if you click the skill, I have it set up so it'll roll the D12 and just ask you for the number of faces on the die. So don't put D in, but if you happen to have an 8, put an 8 when it asks.
And 8. 8. Yeah. 15?
15. Okay. That is a success. Let's see. It's not a critical, though. I'm sorry. First time we're playing this, so I'm going to have to look things up quite a bit. But let me pull this up here. Test results. Okay, here we go. So if your sum is between an 11 and 18 is a success. So in combat, going for initiative, success means you go before your enemies. So you will go before this creature does. Jake, how are you responding to this thing?
I suppose I'll stand out ahead of the party and wait for the bird to descend before making a melee attack at it.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. Hit the button for melee attack. It'll ask you what size of die you've got for the melee there.
All right.
$12. You also succeed, so you will also go before the creature.
All right.
Chuck, what are you doing?
You muted.
I was muted. Sorry.
Hmm.
On these one-handed weapons, are they strictly melee weapons?
No, you could have had a ranged if you wanted a ranged
Okay.
instead.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like a dagger, and then like a hand crossbow or whatever the appropriate weapon type would be, or a sling or something. Yeah.
Sure, you could have a sling or you could have a short bow.
We'll go short bow. Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot at it with my
Go
short
ahead.
bow. So that's just roll the ranged, right?
Yeah, and then type in the number of the die size you put in there.
Uh,
Again,
for
just a quick
ranged,
and dirty character sheet we're using here.
I got a D8 on the. Oh, I updated the macros on the character sheet to roll it for me.
Okay. Did you roll a 5?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 on the on the D12 and a 1 on my D8.
Okay,
Oh,
so
great.
a 5 is not a failure; it's a setback.
Okay.
So a setback is you do succeed, and you will take your turn before your enemy, but the first skill die that you roll is going to be downgraded by a die size.
Okay.
In your case, when you actually do shoot at it, it's going to drop the die size one step down.
Okay.
Just for your first action.
Sure.
So you guys decide. All of you go before the creature. 2 of you got ranged, and 1 melee. So either John or Chuck, one of you go first.
Chuck, why don't you fire off your
Okay.
shot right away?
And this is a D6 since it's downgraded. That's a 15.
It's 15. That is a success, but not a critical success. All right. So this was a distant shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. Okay. Hang on just a minute, guys. Let me look up.
Also, after looking at my stats, it seems stacking mighty does nothing beyond 16. So I went ahead and reallocated my points to 2 hail, 1 agility.
All right. Yeah. No, that's just fine. Okay. All right. So you succeeded in that. Okay. So, okay. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, guys.
Sure.
So we got that in. So you can take 3 actions during your turn. So if you had a weapon in each hand, you could do that. You can move. So again, they don't say that you can't attack 3 times, But I'm going to say you can attack with a weapon in each hand if you've got more than one, or if you've got a particularly small, quick weapon, maybe. But it doesn't give good guidance as to if you can't double up on certain things. It just says you can take 3 actions, which include striking, attacking a foe, using a knack, which none of you have yet. You need some experience first. Moving, praying, casting a spell, or doing something else.
So yeah, I would probably.
Okay, so you succeed. Roll your damage, which is just your normal damage, whatever you're given through your might.
Damage. That is a D10. Would that be the melee damage given through might?
Yeah.
Okay. It's an 8.
An 8.
Nice.
It has a threshold of 5. Yours is higher than its threshold, so you give it 1 wound. Hit points or wounds in this game, there's not a lot of them. Most weapons only do 1. There's some special effects that'll get you more than 1. So you hit it with your sling bullet for 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do?
Probably use my remaining actions to like maybe find a little rocky outcropping, something to kind of hide from it.
You can get under one of the shards of egg.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. John, you're going to do some spell casting. So if you open up the sorcerer's sheet there, it tells you what spells you have.
Yep. I'm going to cast Eldritch Missile at it.
Okay. So you just roll damage.
All right. So that's a D10.
Now, damage isn't wounds. Damage is whatever you roll, you've got to beat the creature's threshold. If you do, you cause it a wound.
Right. Don't think I did. So.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 4.
It is a 4. No, it's a 5. I'm sorry. So you hit it, but it fails to do enough damage to make it any less capable of living.
Fair enough.
Jake, it is your turn. We'll say it's been descending the whole time. So you had a melee action. If you want to take it now, you can.
All right,
Close
I will
enough.
do. So just roll the damage for that.
So you roll to see if you hit. It would be your melee attack skill. This is something else I'm confused about, because when you do your initiative, you're already making a test to see where you go in initiative. So does that roll count as your actual first action or not? So that is a question. That is a question to ask. What'd you roll, Jake?
9 total.
9 total. Okay, so a 9 is not a success, but it is a setback. You can choose. You do hit it, but then now you have to choose between 3 options. You also harm yourself in the process. You cost yourself a resource. Maybe you drop something off the ledge and it goes plummeting into the water below. Or you set yourself back, meaning your next skill test is stepped down 1. And we forgot to step down your die, Chuck, but that's okay. So you pick one of those 3 things for the setback, but you do hit the creature.
I'll pick the die step down for next.
For the next. Yeah, so you slip maybe after making the attack. And it's going to let you. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult for you for the next round. So go ahead and roll your damage. You're hoping to do more than 5 points of damage to cause it a wound.
All right, 9.
It certainly does. So it's taken a total of 3 points of damage so far. It is still alive, so it comes down for its attack, and it is going to. I'm going to do a random roll. I'm going to call it 4 of you because the princeling is there. 1, 2, 3. This could be Chuck. All right, Chuck.
All right.
It is going to come down to grasp you with its talons.
Oh no.
Pierce you real good. Chuck, how many dodge tokens do you have?
I have 4.
You have 4. Do you want to spend one of them to not be attacked?
Absolutely.
Okay. So it fails in that attack. It also has 3 actions, so it's going to, let's say it's going to beak attack you, Jake. How many dodge tokens do you have?
It's 4.
4. Do you want to spend one, or do you want to let it hit you?
I'll spend one.
You're going to spend one. Okay.
Yeah.
Its third action, getting pissed at all these things, it is going to reach out and it is going to grab the young princeling on
No.
accident as it tries to reach for one of you. Picking it up in its talons, it goes off the side of the nest and drops the princeling down to the rocks below.
Oh, I think we failed this one.
I got an idea.
Only suffers one wound, so it lands hard and he belly flops in the water. One wound isn't enough to kill the princeling, but hey, it was the easy way down.
Fair enough. Yeah. At least we know the fall isn't fatal.
Yes. Okay, now let's talk about the blood die. So the blood die is based on the creature that you are facing. This is a minor creature, a D4. It starts at a 1, and then it counts up as various actions take place. Now, I am uncertain whether or not initiative is one of those actions or not, like at the end of the round, whether it goes up. I think it should. So I'm going with that. So it's going to go from a 1 to a 2 now. Choose side. It's going to go to a 2. Okay. And now what this does is when it hits a 4, that die size goes up to a 6. And why this is important is because the creature uses that blood die to make its attacks and to make its damages. So the longer you're in a fight with the creature, the stronger it gets.
Makes sense.
Now, the bonus to this on your side is the higher that number is, if you kill the creature, the more experience you get.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start with round 2. And let's try it this way this time. So let's have your action, actually, whatever you roll, will set your initiative, but it'll also be your first roll of your first action. Because that's the thing that I am uncertain about. So let's do it this way this time around. So what are you doing, John?
You know what? Just to play around with it, this time I will pray.
You're going to pray this round. Okay, go ahead. Let's have
Okay.
your pray roll.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Religion. There it is.
Oh, a 17. That's a crit.
Nice.
Oh, wait. No, sorry. 18. You need to have over 18. So it is a success.
I'll take it.
So you do go before your enemies. But keep the number rolled in mind for when your thing goes off. Jake, what are you doing this round? So it's just dropped the princeling off the side of the nest. It's still hovering there. It's still within melee range.
Well, if it's still in melee range, I'm going to take a swing at it.
You're going to take a swing at it. Go ahead. Make me a melee attack roll.
And I'm dropping a die size because of my...
Yes, because of the setback. Yeah, you stepped in a little bit of egg.
Still got some pretty good rolls there. 6.
6. Okay, a 6 is another setback.
Oh, boy.
Actually, no, this is initiative. I'm sorry. But that will be a setback on your turn. You just drop you die. You know what? So reading this, since something that happens in initiative is that your first skill roll is dropped to die size, they probably do want you to re-roll the thing, which is complicated. Let's not for this time being. Yeah. So let's say your next die roll is going to be
Didn't you also roll a d12?
I'm not sure what exactly the thing is for that, but my warrior melee says D8, and my weapon doesn't offer any specific bonuses.
Oh no, it's a D12 plus D8. So if you hit the button, it should just say ask for the size of the die for the melee.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, let's try that again.
Yeah, on the right hand side, the melee skill.
Melee.
Oh, that's much better.
Yes, 11.
That's a success. You go before the creature. And Chuck, what are you doing this round?
Muted again, Chuck.
How dare I? I'm going to strike with my arrow again.
Okay, you're going to shoot. Go ahead and make the roll.
It's the same arrow.
Ooh.
I got a 5.
Okay, it's a setback. So you can either harm yourself in the process, you can cost yourself a resource, so drop or break something. Maybe the bowstring breaks. Or you're setting yourself back, and your next roll is going to be stepped down.
Why don't we just let's break my bowstring for now.
Okay, your bowstring breaks after the shot. So everyone goes first. So let's say, Chuck, you make your shot. You rolled a 5 to attack, which is its. Let's see. So yeah, so you've already suffered that from it. Go ahead and roll your damage. So this is with the setback. Your bowstring broke.
Okay. So this is rather than the D10 I would normally get, it would be a D8.
Right.
Okay.
Since this is your next roll. Yeah.
Okay. I'm following now. An 11.
11. Okay. You do a wound to it. So bowstring
Okay.
breaks. Your arrow is fast and true, and it does hit it. Anything else you want to do? It is within melee range, so if you want to stab it as well, you could stab it as well, or you can move out of the way, or
I'm gonna hang back. I'm gonna move back out of the way.
okay.
Yeah.
John, you were praying
Yeah.
this time. What were you praying for?
Well, apparently, according to the way I'm reading this, I roll randomly for my spell effect.
So what did you roll for the initiative roll? So we're counting it as
I
a
rolled
skill.
17 initially.
Okay, so with a 17, it's not a critical; it's a regular success. So, roll on the table below. Alternatively, you can pick a specific effect if you want, but you can't pray again for another hour if you pick a particular effect.
I'll roll randomly.
Okay.
Just my arm. Got 10.
And would you roll? A
I
10.
got
Oh, you got a 10.
Oracular sight. Once in the next hour, you may adjust a single die roll by plus or minus 1 or 2. You may decide to do this after you see the result of the roll.
Yeah. So it's any roll, not
Yeah.
just yours, any roll.
Yep. Cool.
Okay, you get a little glimpse into the future of what's going on.
Okay.
As Jake, it's your turn.
So yeah, that melee attack. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. So what did you roll for the melee attack / initiative roll?
11.
11. Okay, so that's definitely a success. Go ahead and roll your damage, which would be whatever your might gave you as a damage die.
D12, so that's a 9.
Oof, a 9. That's more than enough. And that slays the creature. That's the last wound it can take. It falls dead as it looks desperately for its young one before it just caws its last, bleeding out.
Yeah.
Wonder what killed all of its eggs. We should probably check on that Prince guy.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. And also, Bert, I think I figured out the initiative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because on page 18 it says the rule. Yeah, they tell you what they're going to do. You roll a test, and then it gives you've got your 3 actions, and one of those actions is strike, attack a foe, and underneath that it gives another line to strike a foe, make your test.
So you're effectively doing the test twice, which seems overly complicated since you've already. Yeah.
Especially if you were deciding to just run for all 3 of your actions or something.
Then you would probably do whatever skills tied to movement.
You would roll a skill for running for your initiative. Yeah.
Which, if you don't have anything in that, it would just be a flat D12.
Yeah. If you don't have a skill that works, it's just a D12. The other thing that happens is the blood die never got above a D4. You have you kill the creature. So you immediately will take 3 points of experience.
Nice.
No particular daring deeds have happened, so I'm not going to throw any deed dice into the XP cup. Looking down below, you see the Mythos, the ship. The princeling is trying to dog paddle his way to the ship. Amazingly buoyant, maybe not so amazingly with his great bulk. However, it appears that your comrades on board the ship are repelling skeletal figures down below. They're trying to keep them from returning to the ship and helping the princeling to get aboard. Oh, you're way up on this rock face.
How far up?
Oh, let's see. Let's do it the old school style.
Oh, Captain threw some bits out. Thanks, Captain.
Thank you.
About 53 feet in the air.
Okay. All right.
So not horribly high up.
And this is over water, right?
Oh hell, I'll jump.
I'm
There are a lot of
going.
rocks below, but there's mostly water.
I would like to cast a sorcery spell.
All right. What are you
But we'll-
casting?
All right. I'm going to cast levitate on myself, but I'm running like off the edge of like jumping out of the nest and casting levitate as I'm falling. And
Oh no. You're gonna take the plunge. Okay, well, make your magic test. Let's see if you succeed.
Yeah. Magic.
Levin is a solid success.
All right.
All right, levitate. Until your next turn, your move action can be vertical. You should end your movement on a surface you can stand on as this spell expires at the end of your turn. If you take 3 actions to move, you will get to the water line just fine.
Okay.
So you're down here. Did you
Yep.
want to land closer to where the princeling is, or to where the combat is hot and thick with your?
Closer to where the princeling is. I'd like to give him
Okay.
a hand.
For a moment, you walk on water before your spell ends, and you sink into the water as well. And the princeling desperately tries to grab onto you because he can't swim well.
You should get a deeper bathtub.
What are the rest of you guys doing? So, yeah, your friend just stepped right over the edge. He
I'm
seems to be
well-
fine.
stepping over the edge without a levitate spell.
I'm
You're
gonna
make a
watch
plunge.
how it goes for Jake,
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
I'll make the plunge.
I assume
he
your wise is
survives.
higher than mine.
My wise is an 8.
Oh, okay, we're good. We're the same. That's
so Jake, do you think you have a skill that might be useful in cliff diving? Remember,
Oh,
they're very broadly.
acrobatics.
Sure. Why don't you make me that roll?
I will cartwheel off the side of it.
Okay.
8.
An 8. Well, an 8 is, let's see, that falls in the setback range. So you could lose something, costing yourself a resource. You can take a wound from hitting a little too hard, maybe, or maybe it just dazes you and you're set back and you take a die step down for your next roll.
I'll take a dice step down for my next roll.
Yeah, so you also do execute a perfect belly flop.
Oh, 10 out
Dazes
of
you
10.
just a bit. Were you trying to land closer to the boat in the Princeling or closer to the shore where the battle is raging?
Well, if there was a battle raging, I would try to have jumped further out towards the ship, although I don't know how much further out I could have gotten.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you belly flop a little further out towards where the ship is. Captain just threw 100 bits in, so I'm gonna call that a reroll. You guys have a reroll banked. Let's call it that.
Good.
Okay.
So Chuck, your friends have both just taken the plunge right over the side of that nest. They seem to be okay.
Yeah.
That second one looked like it hurt just a little bit.
Well, I'm a lot more agile than he is. So I have confidence that I can do what he did, just better.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a dive. I also have no skill that would help me with this.
You have no skill that will help you with this?
I got thievery, stealth, deception, ranged, and unless I can deceive the cliff
Deceive
into
physics.
being shorter.
No. Yeah, it sounds like that's a big old 0. So just roll a d12. Let's see how you do. Oh,
I got a 1.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
If y'all are cool to keep from dying,
Yeah, that
I
reroll
might-
just came in handy.
Yeah, I might burn that reroll.
I don't know. Can I
Go
give him a
ahead and-
+2 to the roll? Would that keep it from being critical failure?
Well, actually, if you give him the +2 to the roll, it makes it just a setback and not a failure. So if you want to use your spell on that, you could.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so setback, Chuck. You can take 1 harm from a very bad landing, cost yourself a resource, or set yourself back. Drop a die size in your next roll.
You know what? I want to take a harm. So I'm going to apply a
All right, yeah, you
my
take
wound.
1 wound.
Yeah.
Okay. That is going to be interesting because wounds do things. So we
yeah,
will
you
get
gotta
into that
roll.
momentarily. Everyone's down. Chuck, were you aiming more for the boat or closer to the shore?
Wherever you said they're repelling an attack from the boat, right?
They were repelling attack on land as they were trying to get back to the boat.
Well, I will go towards land so I can help out in the fight.
Okay. You start, since you have no real skills in
I'm doggy
swimming,
paddling.
you just kind of like do the best you can to paddle towards shore.
Yeah.
The other two of you guys, what are you doing?
I will paddle.
Princeling
towards
is
the ship.
actually dragging at you there, John.
Yep.
He's got a grip on you, and he's trying to get out of the water by climbing you.
Yeah,
This is kind of a desperate situation.
I'm gonna
drown you and him if it keeps
I'm
it
gonna
up.
grab him and then try to cast levitate again so that I can get us up. And my goal is to get us up and onto the ship.
Oh, that's smart. Okay, so sure. It doesn't say that you need any particular hand gestures to cast your magic. You go ahead, make the roll. He's grabbing onto you, so you don't really have to grab onto him.
Great.
13, good solid success. You're just like ejected from the water as you make that arc onto the ship, landing safely aboard. Now, everyone else on the ship except for there's one young man he's just mopping the decks. Everybody else who normally runs the ship is out there fighting what looks to be skeletal men. But you're safely aboard the ship here. I gotta ask, can you sail a ship?
I cannot sail a ship. I don't think I have that in my. What's that?
Who needs to sell a ship? You just put it in drive and it goes wherever it wants.
Jake,
Try.
you're treading water. What do you want to do? So your one friend is heading for the shore. One friend just hopped up on the deck of the ship, take you to safety, and you've got the princeling. I mean, you can get him back in one piece. That's all you have to do to collect the money. And did you really like those guys on the shore? I mean, George there owed you money.
I do like money. I'll swim my way towards some skeletons.
All right, you swim towards shore as well. Chuck, you pull yourself out of the water, none too gracefully, as you and water really don't get along. You have a tragic past, and the relationship's not good there. You pull yourself out just as you see one of the men from the ship fall beneath these cutlass strikes of these skeletons who seem to be wearing, I don't know, maybe piratey outfits. You even see, the little hat there that just screams pirate at you. It says Long John Silver's on it. And
just little cardboard fold-down hats.
all right, so as you're taking stock of the situation, it looks like your men are taking the worst of it. There's 4 of these skeletons that are tearing into them. Your men are actually able fighters. They never fought skeletons before, and so their lunging, piercing weapons just seem to be not doing so much. So before we go, well, what do you want to do? Let's start with that. Nick, you're also pulling yourself onto the shore and seeing this as well.
Well, luckily, I decided I've got an axe.
Okay, yeah. I have a dagger and a broken bow. Could I swing my bow with the broken string as like a club?
I don't see why you couldn't. Sure.
Then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull out my broken bow and I'm just going to run up and try and brain a skeleton.
All right, sounds good. I tell you what, so the blood die for the skeleton are also a D4. They're not horrific monsters. But what I'm going to do, since they've been fighting here for a while, is I'm going to randomly roll this D4 to see where it starts. So it's going to start at a 3. They've been in combat for a little bit down here. So you're in melee. Your action is to melee. So go ahead and roll your melee for the initiative roll. And this time we will do the secondary roll for the actual action. Since that seems to be what you're supposed to do.
That's at least how it reads.
Oh, a 20. That's a crit on initiative. All Also, you get all your dodge points back as well when this starts. You also, let's see, critical. You get to step up your first die.
Okay.
So when you make your attack, you get to step up that die. So you're definitely going before the creatures or your men. Jake, you swam to shore as well. Your friend has just launched himself into the fray with the busted up end of a bow, using it as a club. What are you doing?
Swinging an axe.
Swinging an axe. Sounds like melee to me as well. I should roll that.
19.
Ooh, also a critical success.
Oh, okay.
So you get to step up your first roll as well. And you're a little bit farther away, John, but let's go ahead and have you. What do you want to do? You can see them battling on the shore there. We'll say, barring you levitating yourself over again, swimming there is going to take you a couple of actions.
Right. How far away are they? Are they within range of most of my spells? I have ranged spells.
Most spells are sight, range of sight for most things. So yes, you can see what's going on.
I'm going to then cast a spell.
Okay, let's have the roll for initiative based on your spell casting.
Sure thing.
An 8. Okay. Well, an 8 is a setback, but in this case, it is a success. So you will go before the creature, but your first roll is one die down. One die step down. All right. Spells go pretty quick, and everybody goes before the monster. So let's have the spell check. A die down on your skill, but go ahead and roll it. And what are you casting?
I am casting Gout of Flame, which deals 3 targets 1d6 damage.
Yes.
And that's an 11.
11. That is a normal success. So you do so. So go ahead and roll 3d6, and that'll assign it to 3 of the skeletons. Their threshold for a skeleton is a 2. So you don't even have to roll very high in those d6s.
No. Rolled a 1 on one of them, so that's not great. But I did roll a 3 and a 4 otherwise. So.
Okay, well, they only take 1 wound. So you slay 2 of the skeletons with your Gout of Flame from afar.
I'm helping. From over here.
You did it. Good
The
job.
last one who's got the eye patch and the Long John Silver's hat just sneers at you as the flames do nothing. Nothing! He's wearing protective sunglasses.
Oh.
Chuck! You swing
Yeah.
your club at one of
I
the other
do.
skeletons. You are a die down? No, you're a die up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's D12 plus 1 die up, whatever your melee is normally.
So that's going to be double D12s.
Ooh.
Just 13.
13, regular success, but still a success. Go ahead and deal your damage based on your might. Wooden staff doesn't do anything extra for you.
Okay. That is a D10, 8 damage.
8 points, threshold of 2, and they only take 1 wound. So your 1 wound is enough to crush another one. 3 skeletons down.
Nice.
As Jake runs into the fray, what were you doing, Jake?
I'm going after Long John Silver.
Going after Long John Silver. Obviously, the master of this party.
Only a 9.
Did you die up on that one? I guess you did. You had rolled a d10.
Yeah.
So a 9 is a setback, but still a success. So you can choose to take a harm or a wound yourself. You can lose a resource. Maybe something breaks or you drop something. Or again, you just misstep and your next roll is going to be a die down.
I'll take a wound.
I'm sorry, you're going to take a wound?
Yep.
Okay. This is what I forgot about. Let's do this now. When you take a wound at the start of your turn, so we should have done this at the start of your turn, Chuck. So we'll just, if you fail this, we'll just hand wave it and we'll do it on the next one because you've got to do this every turn while you're still wounded. Roll a d12 plus a d6. And you just have 1 wound, right?
Right. So is that a -1 for 1 wound? Oh, 1 wound?
No, it's only a -1 if you have multiple wounds.
Okay.
Did I need to do this right now as well?
Yeah. I just wanted to see what would have happened for you.
Ooh, I got a 4. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Okay, a 4 is a setback. Let's see. At the start you have a round, you must make a wound test. Each one you have. If you fail, you did not fail. You just did a setback, so you're fine. You're still conscious. So you can
Okay.
fall unconscious
Oh,
from having a single wound as you know the fatigue of the combat gets to you, but you're both fine. So that round went as planned. So Jake, sorry, did I have you do your attack? Your axe?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Charge in there.
No, for God's sake. Or wait, no, that was just. Yeah, I rolled my melee attack, and that's just the damage. So.
Okay, so the damage is a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Threshold is 2, so it's just you hit it, but it mostly just goes like passes through some bones in the rib cage. You tried to do this like swipe attack, and
skeletons.
just goes right through the rib cages.
I can see why he wears the cardboard hat.
Okay. I'm going to have the skeletons attack, and then the crew will attack. So the skeletons, you're all in the fray there as well. I'm just going to roll some dice here. Let's see. Oh, they're all going against your crew members. So they go in. It's a D4, and it's D4 there. So 4. Oh. Your crew's doing fine. Your crew's doing fine.
Okay.
There's only 2 of these skeletons left. It's going to be next round, so this is going to move the blood die up. It's going to hit 4, which means now it's going to change to a D6.
Oh.
It's going to make these skeletons just a bit tougher. And when you put the new die on, you put the face on the last die I was on. So it's going to start at a 4. So there. Okay, there we go. All right.
Okay.
Well, let's start with John. Fire seemed to work. There's still 2 of them standing. What do you want to do?
But we still need to get the boat over there. So I was actually thinking I'm going to pray and try to get inspiration to then try to maneuver to sail the ship to shore so people can get on board.
Okay. So roll for the initiative part of that.
All right.
So you're praying.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And were you die down for your next roll? I forget.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So die it down, and this is just for the initiative part of it. 6. It's going to be So you still go before the creature, but your roll is step down 1.
Yep.
Jake. 2 of them are standing. You're pretty sure the one with the hat and the patch is laughing at you. It's got like a little parrot in its little rib cage. The little parrot's got 1 peg leg, and that parrot's giving you the bird with its feathery hand.
What a jerk. I'm going right for its rib cage. Oh my god.
Wow.
Failure.
You know what? I will spend the reroll for that one.
Do we have a reroll?
I thought we did.
No, I used it.
It's already spent.
Oh, I thought that was spelled away. All right, curses.
All right,
Oh,
so
no. Yeah,
so
John
for your
upgraded
comment,
it,
I
didn't
think if you
No,
go
reroll's
after
still
the
there.
enemy.
I had adjusted Chuck's. So
Yeah, John
It just
fixed
means
me.
you go after the enemies. No further anything else happens with that. You just go after the enemies.
it's just initiative. So
Yeah, this is just the initiative.
Oh,
So Chuck,
That's fine then.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna keep clubbing.
Keep
It's
clubbing?
working good so far.
Like baby
yeah.
seals?
like baby seals.
Yeah,
man.
just
Someone's
like a
got to
baby
do it.
seal.
I
Like
thought he
orphan
was just
seals,
hitting up the clubs and
No. You might think that I was talking about like going to like bars where you dance with music and lights. No, I was talking very specifically about finding baby seals
Clubbing.
and bashing them in the face with a wooden stick.
Especially if they're orphans.
Well, if they're not, we can fix that.
True.
You just got to go up the family tree.
Let's have the initiative roll.
Another
Oh,
20
look at
on
that!
initiative.
20. So you go first, and your roll is adjusted up a die size.
Okay.
nice.
So since it's the start of my turn, do I need to do that wound
You
test
do.
again?
You need to see if
Okay.
you fall over from your wound that you have. So a D12
Okay.
plus a D6.
Plus a D6.
You just want to not get a 2 or lower.
I got
You're
a 10.
fine.
I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
So why don't you go first since you critted?
Yeah, I'm just gonna run up to the next skelly boy and bash them in the face with my bow.
Okay, you
Let's
do
roll
that,
my
and it's
melee.
died up. So a D12 plus
I
one
forgot
die up,
to-
whatever your melee is.
I forgot to die it up, but I'm happy with a 13. I'm not worried about doing that upgrade.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely gonna hit. Go ahead and do your damage.
All right, and based on my might, my damage is a 10.
3 points is enough. It's got a threshold of 2. It only takes 1 wound. You didn't call which one, so I'm gonna say Captain Long John is still standing, and you knock down the last of his crew. Parrot stares at you with its beady little eyes.
So that's awesome. I also have a rules question because I realize now I might be doing something wrong.
Okay.
I was going off of my might because for might it says it's your melee damage. So melee is a separate skill outside of
No,
might.
so
It's
your
not tied.
damage is always the die that you're given based off your might.
Okay.
That's
And
your
then
base damage
melee
unless the weapon gives you anything more.
Skill.
is a secondary skill.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been doing this very wrong.
Well, actually, melee damage, if you're talking about the character sheet, should be the die size that you got from your might.
Right. But it's the 2 hit that I was doing wrong.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. So my melee is actually complete garbage. So I will
Well,
fix
let's
that.
let's have you roll the damage. We'll take
I
that.
did.
Actually,
It was
you,
a
did,
3.
you did the thing. You did the thing. You
Okay.
stayed conscious and you knocked out a skeleton, leaving 1 skeleton left. Jake or John, which one of you want to go first? Actually, Jake has to go last because he's happening after.
Yeah.
So, John, go ahead. Cast your spell.
All right, let's pray. And this is down a die size, correct?
Down a die size. So it's a D12 plus 1 die size less for your praying.
Awesome.
Okay. I've got my sheet fixed.
All right, and I'm picking a specific spell effect. So I
Sure.
won't be able to pray again until I've spent an hour in prayer. But
Yep.
I am going to use Foretell, which gives me I automatically pass my next test with a critical.
Oh, yeah.
So I will do a sailing test.
Okay.
And
Well, you have multiple actions. Do you want to sail this boat to the shore?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it happens. It just happens. You kick the little boy that's swabbing your deck aside as you grab the wheel, and somehow mystically you've got to pull up the anchor, and you do that. And you start moving the sails to the shore as it goes in further. The one creature, the pirate that's left, is going to face off against Chuck there. Okay, here we go. Let's see. It does get a D6 this time, though. As oh, boom! An 8. What's your threshold, Chuck?
My threshold is a 4.
Okay, so it does damage. Let's see, it does.
So how does the armor play into that?
Well, 6. Okay,
Damage
so what's your
reduction.
threshold, Chuck?
4.
4. It actually does. He does hit you and would cause a wound. So, the wound that you had earlier falling from the tree, I'm going to say bypassed armor, so it doesn't really help for that. But in this case, the one wound that's coming at you, you're wearing armor.
Yes,
your
I am.
armor takes the brunt of the wound, so you still have but
Okay.
one wound.
1 wound. So they would have to deal enough damage to inflict 2 wounds.
To get you down lower again.
Okay.
Well, no, okay. So your armor only lasts for the 1 box. So like your armor is just taking the wound. So it's basically it shredded your armor.
Okay.
So the next
it's-
strike against you, you don't get armor anymore because it's all on tatters on you.
Okay.
Until you can repair it, that's all it's going to do for you.
It's like the shield sunder thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Except for
you
the
can't
shield sunder.
repair shields.
If you got a lot of wounds coming at you, the shield will take care of all of them.
Okay. And where
Your armor is
just
only going to
takes
take care
a
of a
fixed
single
number.
wound coming at you.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So yes, it cuts at you with this cutlass. It tears through your hard-boiled leather, exposing the pasty skin within. But you're just fine. And finally, Jake.
I
The
will
parrot's using its
roll for my
wings to grab
wounds.
around the rib cage of the pirate and is looking at you with its little eyes.
Rolling for my wound test here. 7.
Oh yeah.
All right, you're fine. You're still conscious.
And now for my melee attack.
Boom!
11.
11's a normal success. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Alrighty.
Just need a 2 or
11.
better.
There we go.
Yeah, you obliterate Long John there. As the parrot, free of the rib cage, goes flying into the air.
Jerk.
Of course, the parrot has learned a phrase as it flies away. Up yours!
God, I hate pirate birds.
Okay. Well, it got moved up to a D6, so you guys will immediately take two experience.
Okay.
Nice.
That puts me up to 5.
Chuck did a math.
I also
I
think
did.
that calling on the gods to move the ship to shore was worthy of tale. So I'll throw a D4 to the XP cup. That was cool.
Okay.
Yay.
All right, you've saved most of your crew. Although John seems to be controlling that ship just fine as he brings it into a perfect berth so that you guys can get on.
He parallel parks that thing.
He does. Just backs it right up.
Oh, I don't know if we saw,
I
but
honked the
Captain
horn
Bond,
that's definitely in the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
and John, Captain threw out another 100 bits too.
All right. Well, hey, there we go. That's another reroll.
It says at the end of combat we can restore.
Yes, you can restore a wound at the end of combat. So none of you will be in danger of just falling over.
Okay. And our armor, if it's tanked that, we have to find somewhere to get it fixed before it's usable again, or
You can fix it yourself if you have the proper skill. Let me look up what that skill is real quick. Weapons and armor. Okay. Oh, it cost a coin. Yeah, so basically you do have to have someone to repair it,
okay.
or you need the materials to repair it yourself.
Okay.
And right now you are coinless. Coinless.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to cut scenes now as you have safely brought the princeling back. So what you're supposed to do at the beginning of each session, because it's assumed that you blow all your money on drinking and stupid things between sessions. We actually roll to see how much coin you have in your purse. And I'm going to change this slightly because you just got paid. All right. So pay is always good. So normally what you do, let me find it, getting and spending coin. Here we go. You would make a test at the start and end of your session. So this will be the start of the session test we will do. Let's see. We're going to have one of you do this. So rescuing a princeling is a pretty big thing. So John, why don't you roll a D12 plus a D12? And let's see how you do.
2d12?
Yeah.
6.
A 6. Ooh. Well,
This is because we bruised him, isn't it?
yeah. Do you want to reroll or do you want to take it? It's an interesting thing. You'll get paid, but that's a setback.
I'll re-roll.
Okay, you want to spin the reroll? All right, go right ahead. 2d12 again.
22.
Ooh, there we go.
Even better. That's critical. You each get 15 coin for bringing the princeling back safely.
You said we each get 15?
Yeah, you get 15 coin.
Wow.
Nice.
Now that you have coin, here's what you can do with coin. Because coin is a unit of currency, but it also does a few things. You can spend a coin for a reroll.
Okay.
You can. So what that would be was basically you've purchased some kind of item, a lucky item, like maybe a rabbit's foot, right? With that coin, that's what you purchase. It will give you a reroll. You could buy a tool or some equipment that would maybe give you a step up on a skill use. If you spend enough money to get some exceptional gear that could give you an automatic success on a particular skill, those are just some things you can do with coin. The other thing you can do with coin is frivolously spend it on drinking and other things. And you just spend all your coin, but you get XP for it.
That sounds fun. I do have a short bow and a set of armor that I have to get fixed, though.
Okay. It's a coin to get them repaired.
Okay.
Buying new costs much more.
It does. I was looking at that. It's 25? 25 for a new bow.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to reduce my coin down to...
Because, this is a bespoke society, man. Those bows are handmade. It takes forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you spend coin frivolously, you gain XP equal to the coin spent.
Oh, baby.
Okay, so I could still get my stuff fixed and then waste the rest of it.
Yes. Yes, you could.
Oh, then that is 100% what I'm doing. I am going to waste 13 coins.
Okay. Experience, as far as I can tell, it doesn't work in Quanta. Like, you don't have to wait between games. If you've got it, you can spend it. So some of you probably have 10 XP at this point. Chuck might, after spending that much gold on drinking. Maybe
How
some
much
drug
is
use.
it to get like
things
a
you can do in a pirate town with money? You do those things.
something
wow.
to get you like a step up on a skill for one use for like tools and equipment?
It shows it there on the screen. So D4 is 10, 6 is 20.
So like
8.
getting a D4 and something you don't have a skill in, for instance, 10 experience going from a D4 to a D6 costs 20, and you can't skip. So like if you have a D4 and you've got enough to get to a D8, you can't skip the D6. You got to pay for the D6 and pay for the D8.
I
So
was
you gave
referring
us
to the
five.
coin.
Yeah.
Oh,
you could
it's,
also do the inverse and buy and pay XP to get coin as well.
Oh, okay. So if you're blowing coin for XP, you just added 10 to the value. So 7 is 70. I spent 13, so I get 130 XP.
Well, no. Okay, so like if you're just blowing it, I see. Okay, so if you're blowing your coin frivolously, in other words, you're not getting any extras out of it. It's just one coin is 1 XP.
Oh,
With XP, you can purchase coins. You can
So
go
what's
the other way.
table right above that.
Which one? The coins gain and cost in XP.
Oh, that's I was reading the wrong damn thing. That's it. Okay. So I now have 18 experience points. That makes way more sense. I'm like, why? That's crazy that I could get that much XP in one go. Okay. All right. So I can upgrade a skill.
Yeah.
And I think I learned that I need to invest in melee.
You didn't have melee at all?
I didn't, because for some reason in my mind, I'm just like, melee, it's a D10 based off my might. And I just tied that over to the skill instead of the damage. So yes, I need to buy.
Which means when you hit hard, but hitting
I don't
is the
hit
problem.
often. Well, I got great ranged attack. So,
Yeah.
I got a D8
fair.
for range. So D8 to hit, D10 damage.
Maybe you spend some of your time in a bar where you do some brawling and just get into a bunch of fights until you get better.
So I am going to take my melee up to a D4.
John, what are you doing?
God, I don't really know. I think I'm holding on to my coin right now for possible rerolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I can always, spend it frivolously later if I decide to for XP. The opportunity presents itself.
So you could buy some spell ingredients that might give you a boost on a spell roll.
What does it cost on those?
That's a good question. They do have a section on things you can buy. Let's see. I don't think they give you like we can figure something out. Let's see. Combat gear is pretty hard. Well, tell me what it is you're looking for. Like, what would you like to have? Something that gives you like a one-time bonus on a spell, like maybe a little fetish that you break it and it helps you the one time.
Yeah,
That would
Yeah.
be cheap enough. I would say maybe that's maybe that's a coin for
okay.
that.
All right, I'll buy one for a fetish for god calling and a fetish for sorcery. So,
Sure. So yeah, you get a holy symbol for your goddess. All gods are goddesses. Oh, by the way, let's see. Who is your goddess? Roll a d10.
roll a d10. Get number 2.
John 2. Theana, the goddess of passion.
Yeah, I'll buy those.
And you slip into one of the Voodoo shops and you get one of their little lucky charms that you can snap, and that will give you an upgrade to a die when you're casting a spell. Yeah, you do that. And Jake, what are you doing? Buddy.
Right now, I'm just gonna frivolously spend to get a whole bunch of XP, and now I'm looking through Nax to see if anything tickles my fancy there.
Buddy's been hearing you for a while now, Chuck, and he's been down here
Oh, hey there,
panting at
buddy.
me.
Oh, buddy.
For those in the audience, the dog now knows Chuck's voice.
He knows my
He wants to
voice.
see Chuck on the little bitty screen.
I don't blame him.
He may be why he
blame him.
broke my $500 monitor looking for you, Chuck.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's rough, but that's on Buddy.
He's right there.
Yeah.
See? He's right there.
There I am. Hi, Buddy.
Right there. See? Yeah. Okay. Are you good now? Are you good? Okay. I'm sorry, Jake. So you're gonna get some experience with your coin? Is that what you were saying, or
Yep. Just throwing it all into experience.
drinking? That's what it is.
Oh,
You
yeah.
are essentially you're in a seaport. That's the thing to do. You get a little fame around as you guys are the ones that saved the princeling. A lot of it is jokes asking, did anybody rupture themselves carrying him on board?
Just tossed him off a cliff.
Yeah.
Let gravity do the hard work.
Buddy, hey. Pardon me for a second, guys.
Like, had they not done that, I was actually going to grab him and do the levitation thing off the edge to get him out.
It would have been the best way to handle that.
Mm-hmm. The other option is I didn't realize it till after. I could have when that thing was coming in, I could have hit it with sleep and maybe just put it to sleep and watch it.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah, that would have worked. All right. Actually, let's see. So you guys have rescued the princeling. Actually, so that is a deed. How good of a deed is that? He did a good deed for a local politician. So I'm going to throw a D6 into the XP cup there.
Okay.
So we'll just put. Oh, that's a D10. You don't deserve a D10.
Oh no.
I mean, look at this.
D6. Boom.
Awesome.
Okay. So you've got some coin in your pocket. You see gear is expensive, mostly because this area that you're in it's kind of cut off from the broader civilization. Most of you got here from shipwrecks. Or perhaps were brought here through sorcery of some sort, and you've not been able to get back home since. Yeah, maybe you pissed off a goddess, had to find a new one. So a lot of things are hard to find, and a lot of things take time to make and build. Ships, particularly, they can make small triremes, but every time they've tried to make a larger galleon and sail it off to see if they can get back to the shores that they were born in and they knew, sea monsters, a lot of them, no one successfully made it out of the deep oceans and back to Iberia. So, yeah, Yeah, you're stuck on these shores. There are a lot of city-states here. There's a Titan, supposedly, a leftover from the God Wars, a lone surviving Titan that, has dominion over the largest landmass in the area. But you are not brave enough nor heaped upon enough glory to go after that sort of thing. Instead, you've got some coin in your pocket enough to buy some good meals, maybe keep yourself out of the weather for a few days. What do you want to do next? One of you just spent all your gold,
I did.
a really bad game.
You know what? I will spend the. You know what? I will spend. Now that I know that I have the Goddess of Passion, I am at the place, indulging in my passions.
Okay.
With the remainder of my funds.
Get into that
high quality
consecrated
passions for about 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, whatever gold you had left, convert 1 per 1 for experience for blowing your gold.
Okay. Well, now we have to go find more work.
Yep.
Preferably with the smaller prince to rescue.
That's fair.
I mean, they could have paid you by the pound. I mean, wouldn't that have been more fair?
Ooh, I would have fed him first.
Load him down with lead
Give him
ingots.
a giant bird leg.
Quick, put all
I
these
will-
stones in your pockets.
I will be back now that there's a break in the action. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I guess wherever you go to find work. let's go
Well, I
find
mean,
work.
you're kind of in the right place for it. This is where all the travelers come in to slake their thirst after being out on the ships for a while. There's a lot of illegal trade that's going on here. Why doesn't somebody make me a roll to see if you pick up on any conversations that might pique your interest for some gold having?
Could I use my stealth skill to try and sneak around and drop some eaves?
You can do that. Let's have the roll. Let's see how that comes out.
Could I also be doing begging and also listening?
I got an 8.
You
Got an 8. Rolled a 2 on that D12.
okay? Well, that is an abject failure for a 2. Let's see. Nothing else bad happens though. You just fail. You make
Okay.
no forward momentum. So you're sneaking around, trying to eavesdrop on some folks, and they just see you. They just kind of clam up, just coming around.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, John's going around saying, "Hey, I think I could go another round. I don't have any gold left. Can anybody?"
You got an 11?
An 11? That's a solid success. You pick up some coin from the begging.
I was hoping somebody would yell at me and be like, "Get a job! We're looking for work over here."
Roll a d4. You got the
Right,
alms bowl out. You 2 coins are given to you. You make a passionate
wow.
plea.
I should have kept that beggar skill.
I had that one too.
You're like, "I swear I will only spend this on booze."
Yeah. Lucinda, I'm not going to spend it on Lucinda again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's got kids to feed.
Yeah. And there's that.
Went in right one.
You do actually break in on a conversation. It was actually, it's a merchant, looks a little better dressed, although well armed. With cohorts around him, they're looking over a map. As you come by, it was more like irritation just to let you move along. They threw a couple of coins in your begging bowl, but you did hear just a little bit of conversation. Yeah, so they're planning a trip. They think they've found a route to get off of this cursed isles through Iberia. He's having a boat built to very specific magical needs that he's been assured will be able to break through and they can all go home. Problem is, the waters are fraught with monsters. They need some good fighting men, but people they can trust because they don't want this getting out. If this really works, and what they're doing with this ship can get them out of here, well, everyone's want to come on board. They can only take so many people. So you come by, and they kind of hush up. He throws a couple of coins in.
Couldn't help but overhear, good sir, that you're looking for trustworthy help. I happen to know myself and a couple of others who would be trustworthy, quality help. Why, we just recently rescued a young princeling.
Huh. That was you?
Yes.
Wow. It's a worthless eating machine. I mean,
You're
that
not
guy's
wrong.
going to rule this place one day. And you know how bad that's going to be?
Bad.
Yeah.
Very bad. He fell
I
off a
guess
cliff.
you've got reasons to get off this rock too then, huh?
Yes.
Why don't you make some kind of persuasion here? You got any
Sure.
skills for charming people?
I mean, I don't have skilled persuade, but I could try.
Okay. A D12 then.
All right.
Okay. An 8. It's a setback. So let's see. I'll tell you what. You look like you've got an honest face. His men around him just start laughing when he says that. We do have some room on board. What do you see? You and your friends at that table over there? Three of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You any good at tarring a deck or mopping? I mean, we do need some crew that can handle some of the menial work.
I think we can handle some menial work. It's good for the spirit.
All right. Now, there's no wages involved in this. I mean, this is purely we're going to go home.
I think they might be willing to get behind that. I'll go talk to them.
All right. Well, you let us know.
All right. So I'll set off to find the other two.
Jake, when you come back to the table, there's a parrot at the bar ordering up a frothy cup of grog. Looks over at you, points its wing at its eyes, points it at you.
Oh,
I'll have roast chicken for dinner. And I want it rare.
Well, as John comes back to the table.
Hey, once you get out of here, like out of here.
I'm on board and out of coin.
It's great. I don't know. If it's double
Yes,
pay,
twice
but-
over.
But there's this merchant that's looking for crew. They're going to try to sail out of here back to Iberia. He thinks he's got a way through with a magic ship.
Oh, that should be fun. Let's sail on a magic ship then.
What's the worst that could happen?
Right? It's magic. It's got to be super safe.
Look, I don't really want to be here when eventually the guy we just rescued becomes king or whatever. Because I don't know that there'll be anything to eat.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should beat it, definitely.
All right.
Parrot staring at you, Jake. It's just finished off its beer, turns around, urinates in your direction.
We need to get out of here right now before I tear this whole bar apart.
Just kill it. Just kill it.
Yeah, you're right. And I'll chop my axe at it.
All right, initiative. Everybody sits down and watches. There's betting. There's vigorous betting going around in the background. They're offering 10-1 against your buddy. They know this parrot.
Oh, you're fighting.
You don't want any help
Oh
with this
my
or anything,
God.
right? I'll just watch.
I got him.
Give me a melee roll for initiative there.
My roll for initiative is 19.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well, you're definitely going first. That's the
And
good
that's
news.
a crit. That's a size up, isn't it?
Is it a crit? Yeah, it's a size up. You're right. It's a D8 blood die.
Oh God.
Wow.
How do I add a blood die?
No. This is
Oh.
what it uses against you.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
you get to go first, so you're chopping at it. Go ahead and make your swing with a die up on your skill die. So it's a D12 plus a die to up skill die.
4.
Woo!
Is there a reroll left?
Yeah, there's a reroll. There's a reroll out there.
Eh,
Captain.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Oh boy!
So I'll let it
Okay.
ride.
All right. So what was your total again? 4.
4.
Okay, so 4's a setback. So you would strike and do damage to it, but in the process, you're either going to take a wound yourself, you're going to lose some resources. Maybe that axe breaks. Maybe somebody picks your pockets. Your choice, or a setback. So your next action would be a die step down because something happens in the background. Your choice.
I'll take the set. I'll take the die step down.
Okay, die step down. So what's going to happen is you're going to hurl forward with that axe of yours. It's going to come down, but just as you do it, that foot of yours just hits that pile of piss on the floor that he just excreted in your direction. You're going to fumble a little. You hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh,
Based on your
okay.
whatever that die is. It has a threshold of 4.
Well, that 2 ain't going to break it.
Your axe glances off its feathered back.
This little thing's a nightmare.
As it turns towards you, opening its bill, it breathes fire at you.
What?
So you
What?
do have your dodge chips up. So if you want to spend one of those to not be hit by this attack, you can.
I think I'll spend a dodge point to
You're gonna spend the
not
dodge
get
point.
fire on me.
Okay, so with its other 3 actions, then it's going to take flight into the air. It's going to swirl around on top of you, and it's going to dump one just right on top of your
Oh,
head.
little bastard.
I don't think there's. Let me check something. I don't think there is. Can you spend more than one of the dodge things per round? I think you probably could. I don't see why not. So, do you want to spend another one to not be hit by this attack?
And now I'll take this one.
You're gonna take this one, okay? Well, it's gonna roll. A 6. What is your toughness?
What is my toughness?
Your threshold. I should.
Oh, 6.
Yeah. A 6. Oh, so it hits.
Wow.
It causes you a wound.
Oh, no.
As it gets in your eyes, it's steaming. It burns like fire.
This guy
smells
drinks
pretty bad.
nothing but whiskey. Ah!
So the only thing I can see on dodge points is you can spend 1 per attack.
Okay.
So if they do multiple attacks on you, you should be able to spend 1 per.
Yeah. Per person. Yeah. Which is odd because if your agility is high enough, you can basically, and you get them at the beginning of every round, you can basically not be hit as long as you're only facing off against one opponent. That seems a
What is
little
it?
odd.
I think it's the beginning of the combat, not the round, is it? I'll have to look.
Let's find out. So we are playing a new game. Let's see.
So it's on page 18
Combat.
of
The
the
start of
PDF.
combat. Give each player roll a test. Test it shows determine how to approach the combat. Blah blah blah. Take your turn. Okay, so on your turn, do these things. Set back on attack. You know what? Unless you spend a dodge point, if they hit you, they roll damage. All the damage. Okay, so I think the intent is you only initiate once.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
kind of how you're reading it? Because I don't see where it says like basically start over. It just says to
There's
start
no
combat.
mention of rounds.
Yeah. Start combat. Have each player roll a test. The test each player should roll is determined by how they approach the combat. Okay. Take your turn after enemies. As on the first roll, take your turn before the enemies. Set them near them. Yeah, I think it just happens once. I think that whole beginning part just happens once, and then the whole combat just falls after that. So you would be spending those dodge points, and then once you're out, you're out.
Makes sense.
3 actions your turn.
It is missing rule note there that what happens after everyone takes their turn.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't say rinse and repeat, so I assume it just keeps going on until somebody falls. So it means you keep your initiative. So it attacked. Is anybody going to join in, or are you just all going to watch?
After seeing that,
there's some high bidding going on. Some people are taking your friend Jake's side of it, but most people are going for the parrot.
yeah, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna throw arrows at that parrot now that my bow works.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make a ranged attack just to get you into initiative to see if you're going to go before or after the thing.
That's a 13.
Okay. It's a success. You'll go before. How about you, John?
I will pray.
You will pray. Go ahead.
All right. Do.
Ooh,
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's
he's
definitely
really
a success.
praying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so everyone will go before this creature does.
It's for the best.
Yeah, but let's start with Jake since he's already in it. He's got bird fecal matter in his hair that's burning into his eyes. He's stepping in more bird fecal matter at his feet. And you're a die size down this round.
I'm gonna jump up on the bar and attack with my axe.
Okay. Go ahead. 1 die size down on your skill with your axe.
14.
Okay, that is a success. Roll damage.
All right. 10.
10. You cause it a wound. This time the axe bites true and it squawks at you. Asshole! Still fighting fit though. You've caused it 1 wound. Let's have some magic in
crud! I'm sorry. I forgot to roll my wound test.
Did you already have a wound prior to going into combat?
No, but I acquired one in the combat.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah,
you did.
fire.
Yeah, let's see if you pass out. Go ahead and make that roll now. D12
13.
plus a 6, you pass. You're fine.
Yeah.
Magic or the arrow, whichever one comes out next.
I'll only do magic because
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you
Hopefully
doing? Go ahead and make your spell test.
yeah. 17. So that's definitely going to go off. I'm just going to roll randomly. This is number 9.
Wait, are you praying or are you casting?
Praying.
Praying. Okay.
So I got curse. One target suffers one of the following effects. They are blind for 1 hour, they are deaf for 1 hour, or they are mute for 1 hour. I'll go with blind for an hour.
Blind.
Blind.
Okay.
Parrots.
Blind.
They
Entertaining.
should have muted him.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
And then an arrow flies.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it's an 11.
Success. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Make your damage roll.
2 damage.
Yeah, it hits some feathers, not doing much to make it live less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So its turn. It's blind now, though. It's blind. I'm gonna say that's definitely worth stepping down its die. I think that's fair. We don't really have rules for what happens when you're blind, but it's still going full on Jake. It's just got a Jake hate going on here.
Good. Great.
Yeah. All right, so Jake, you want to spend another one of your dodges, or are you gonna just let it attack you and see what happens?
I'll just let it attack me and see what happens.
All right. Only a 5. What is your threshold?
6.
Okay. So I mean, it scratches you, but it can't see really well, so it's mostly just getting into your leathers.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna crap down your throat.
Oh God.
It claws at you.
Muting might have been the right answer.
So I back up to you guys. You guys all go before it. Some of you, yeah. Well, let's Jake's in the fray, so let's have Jake do it. But Jake, you have to see if you fall unconscious from your wound or not.
Yep.
You're
17.
fine. You gonna press
All right.
the attack skill.
12 for attack.
Okay, it's a success. Roll your damage. Just
Another 2.
higher than a 4.
Nope.
No. Okay, again, your axe just kind of bounces off it. You're beginning to think that this parrot might be more than a parrot. Maybe that's what's going on here. Arrow to the face or more spells? What's going on?
Either or. Would you
Do
want to go
your arrow,
first?
Chuck?
All right.
And I got
15 for arrow.
Okay, roll your damage.
4 damage.
Okay, it causes another wound because its threshold is a
Nice.
4. It looks at you now, or tries to, because it's blind, just in the direction the arrow came from. It's still going though. It's taking 2 wounds. It's still
I'm
up. what are
casting
you
a spell,
You casting? Okay.
and this time I'm casting a spell. So
All right. Buddy, hey, it's okay. The parrot's not really dying. It's all right.
let's see. That's probably a setback, right?
7 is a setback. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll take it.
All right.
So
Wound. You lose something, or you're setback.
actually, with this one, because it's a sorcerer spell, I just spell goes off normally, but I suffer 1d3 wounds.
Oh.
Ooh, ouch.
Ow.
That's rough.
Yeah.
How many
but I
wounds can you
do,
take? What's your total?
My spell was that I'm going to make it fall asleep and lose its next turn.
Okay. Okay. So it falls asleep. It is blind. It is very damaged. You took how many wounds?
A d3.
Go ahead.
It's a slash R D3.
Oh,
That's
that's
a
not
wound.
bad. One
Fine.
wound.
Fine.
Okay, well, I'm going to say it's asleep. It is blind. It's laying there. Chuck, if you want to just coup de grace the bird.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I can.
But it's funny, so make the hit roll. We'll just let the damage kill it, but just let's see what happens on the hit roll.
I rolled double ones.
Oh, that's where it becomes funny. Yeah.
Yeah. That's. Yeah.
Okay, what were you doing? Chopping or shooting at it?
I was just going to walk up and point blank shoot it.
You shoot it. You miss it. It ricochets off the hard countertop, bounces off the mirror behind the bartender, and skewers him in the back of the head. Roll damage.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
4.
The bartender looks at you for a moment as he falls dead on the counter with the arrow lodged in his brain pan from behind. Everyone, the betting stops. Everyone is real quiet.
Yeah, we got to get out of town.
Well, since I'm not paying for anything, I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of these, and I'll just take some snacks off the bar before I leave.
Yeah.
The ship that
get
you
the
were looking to
bartender.
work on. One of them has gone to the back door, and he's pointing out the back door.
That's
Yeah,
that's
go.
where I go.
Yep.
Okay, everyone runs for the back door. Since it was your
Yeah.
back, Chuck, why don't you roll just a d12 for me? Just a d12. I want to see what's going to go on.
Okay.
In the bars, they're not quite processing this yet. Just killed the bartender.
Yeah. It's an 8.
Okay. There's a rush to the bar as they realize that the grogs unattended, and bottles start to pass around. And of course, people want their own special brands, and there's only a couple of those bottles. So there's a huge fight that's breaking out. And as you turn to go, you hear the sound of like a smashing keg, and then there's fire all of a sudden.
Here's my real question. Did the parrot get stomped to death by the charging bar patrons?
You don't know. That pirate,
Okay.
that parrot might be a reoccurring villain.
Jake's personal nemesis.
Yeah.
That bird is going to have it out for you until the end of time. You are rushed away from the bar as flames start shooting out of the thatch roof. Smugglers, merchants, and pirates running out and carrying cradling booze like it's their firstborn children.
Okay. So this guy that waved us out, is he guiding us to the ship?
Not to a ship. He just guiding you away. Just away.
Okay. Oasis.
I really hope that this kind of chaos doesn't follow you guys around on a normal basis.
No, never.
Not
Yeah,
usually.
It was mostly that parrot.
Gus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, he used to be the worst pirate on these seas until some sorceress changed him into that parrot. He's still a mean old Gus.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Well, now my pain has a name. Gus.
Gus.
Gus the parrot.
That's
Gus the pirate
fantastic.
parrot.
Oh, look, the ship's got a few days left. They got to outfit it. There's some spells. They got to paint it in the blood of like 100 sheep or something like that. It's pretty expensive. It's all on the bill. 100 sheep's on there. I assume they're using its blood. Maybe they're just eating it. I don't know. But it's got a couple days left before the ship is ready. When it is, we're gonna head out
Okay.
past those monsters. We're gonna pierce that veil, and we're going home. We're going to land. So. Never seen monsters like these before. We don't have to worry about titans and all this sorcery. Home. How long's it been for you?
For as long as I can remember.
The days just kind of bleed through for me, honestly. So,
All right, look, we got a flop house. You guys can lay low there for a day or two. It's going to take for this vessel to be ready. We got your basic supplies. But if there's anything that you're going to miss from this cursed isles, well, you probably should bring it with you.
no,
Anyway, this
I'll
is it.
hold up my snacks.
Yeah, there's a lean-to kind of building that's kind of in the alleyway between two other houses. You can see there's more of these structures around. There's, people that can't afford housing just kind of built these little lean-tos. At least this one's got a door. As you get up and he opens it for you. It's actually quite substantial. The outside looks more patchwork than it actually is. It's actually fairly well built. You can see there's already several folks in here, and they've got a small iron stove. Actually, it wouldn't be iron. Small bronze area, some metalwork set up so they can cook some food there. There's cots strung across some beams. Like, this is the crew. Go introduce yourselves.
Hi.
These will be the new swabbies. They'll take care of the decks. Any of you can do some minor carpentry, maybe? No? How about cooking?
Well, actually, I was going to.
You want to take your
Anything
turns
with
in the
your-
barrel? We could do that too.
At my friend's wounds here, I know a little bit of the healing arts.
No, healer. Well, that'll come useful. Yeah.
I'm good at sneaking and shooting. What use would that be? Or
Some of the folks start like hiding their money in their coin pouches a little tighter on their bodies.
I didn't say stealing. I said sneaking and shooting.
They know what you meant.
I got a 10 for a healing check.
Okay.
On Jake's. What's your character's
So
name?
after the combat, everybody will automatically heal back one wound. Did anybody have more than one wound?
No, mercifully.
No. No, I
Okay.
only had one.
Yeah, you're okay then.
All right.
Okay. All right. He said, well, this will be the crew for the next few months. Get to know one another. And, well, hopefully this good coin has been spent well and we'll be able to get out of here. 2 days at most. So that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And with that, he takes his leave and leaves you in here. Everyone's just kind of staring at you guys. One of them comes forward. So, have any of you actually worked on a boat before? You know, how to tend sails or... well, let's get to the basic questions. Are you going to be seasick all over the place? I mean...
I don't think so. We were on a boat not that long ago, and we weren't seasick at all. Matter of fact, I masterfully sailed one by the grace of the gods.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of them god speakers. Well, that can come in useful.
Among other things, yes.
Yeah, I got this rash. You think you can do something about it?
I can take a look at it. Use some healing.
Oh, yeah, hey, make a roll.
I damn. I got 7.
No, consequences, though. Consequences.
Oh,
You might be catching a rash the next day or two.
Awesome.
Oh,
On my hands.
you just
Mm.
transferred it.
Yeah.
Let me cook the meal. I
Yeah. Everybody's going to have an itch and a burning sensation.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, well, hey, you're going to be the swabbies then. And you know what a swabby does?
Swabs the deck.
Yeah, amongst other things. Yeah. Look, I'm just asking because we don't actually have a cook. Anybody able to cook? You can cook. All right. Well, that's something. That's something.
I'm volunteering. I don't know how to cook.
I got some concerns. I mean, the captain's paid a lot of money for the ship, but I'm noticing there's not a lot of stores that are going to go aboard the ship here. I mean, we got a couple of barrels of some dried fruit and meats and some waters, but it may take months to get back home, and there's not months of water or food going on board. I'm guessing he's planning on stopping, island hopping.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, we
I'm
certainly
guessing he's up to
should
no
hope
good.
so.
My friends here, they're good at hunting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
the
a
man had
skill.
the boat.
That's a good skill. And if you're a cook, maybe we'll be all right. I've got a few misgivings. I mean, not a God speaker myself, but sometimes I have visions. Got visions.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I've been having visions of these like one-eyed giants throwing rocks.
Ooh.
You know, he looks over at Jake. It's like, one of my visions, I could have sworn there's a guy that looked like you, but I can't be exactly sure because his head got smashed in between 2 boulders. I mean, you look similar from the neck down, is all I'm saying.
Boy, I'm surprised. I would think that with only one eye, they'd have terrible depth perception.
Right?
I don't know, but they carry these rocks and they just kind of smash and they just smash their head and
Oh. Well, I mean, I
Well-
guess it is pretty easy to hit then if you've got it in one hand.
yeah.
And I would say thanks for the heads up. Except if I keep my head up, I might get it smashed by rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really clear vision. I have them once in a while. Well, I didn't listen to the last one. Told me I was in for a life of misery. And sure enough, I married her anyway, and that's exactly what happened.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But look at you. You're gonna go sailing away. You should be okay.
Well, I mean, technically, I'll be sailing back to where she is.
Oh.
Well, why are you doing this?
I really don't know.
Okay.
But I'm supposed to be on the boat because the vision. I saw the vision. So I had to be on the boat.
Yeah.
We may be doomed.
Yeah, we are.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure
yeah.
you are.
Everyone is.
Well, I mean,
I guess,
Just how
The
you choose to
important-
meet it.
yeah, the important thing is if we learn that the captain didn't load up a lot of food and we got a couple days, we could use that time to go steal a bunch of food from other boats.
Yes, you could.
Oh, hey, I like that idea. They call me Rat, by the way. Rat Plinskin. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Rat Plinskin. Nice to meet you too.
I'm pretty good with the stealing.
Nice. We can be team steals a lot.
I can distract them while you steal from them.
Seems like you guys want to steal some food.
Yeah,
Oh,
if
yeah.
we're gonna need food.
Okay.
I imagine most of the guards are going to be busy with putting out a bar fire. So,
Well, that's true. One of the favorite bars is on fire right now. Would be a prime time to be sneaking on board a ship to steal some stores.
Let's
Let's
do it.
do this with a couple of different tasks here. And I'll give a bump up depending on how things go. So Jake wants to cause a disturbance. You pick a ship that's, recently been laden down, getting ready for a long voyage. It sits a little lower in the water, and you saw some crates going on board for food. Jake, what kind of disturbance do you want to make to get just the 2 guards that were posted here away from the ship? What do you want to do?
I think I will. I'll stand maybe 10, 12 feet away from them, and I'll take my axe in one hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll toss it up, and I'll catch it in the other hand. Then I'll toss it up and catch it in the other hand. And I'll say, I could use a couple more things to juggle.
Oh, okay. Well, you seem to be wanting to entertain them here. You got any kind of skill?
Acrobatics.
Okay, sure, I'll buy it. The 2 guards kind of look at each other, and they kind of look at your little display there. Why don't you roll? D12 plus your skill die. 12, that's a solid success.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And they come over, and as you got that axe going up, they'll throw a dagger in the mix, and you grab the dagger, and you get it going around as well. The other guy tosses an apple that was half eaten. You grab that too, and you start doing the rounds. One of the guy kind of ribs the other guy. He reaches down, he yanks off his underwear, he throws it in the mix. Before you can really think about it, you grab it, and that soiled underwear hits the
Sticks to your hand a little bit.
but you created a distraction. John, do you want to do anything else before Team Sneak goes in?
I will. There might be locks, and rather than go through the noise and time of having to pick them, I'd like to use my alchemy to brew up something that could maybe, eat through the lock.
Sure enough, you guys get on board. You're going with Team Sneak as well, and you get to the stores. And sure enough, there is a big bronze padlock covering the ship's stores. When they put padlocks on the ship's stores, this is probably the captain's stores. That's good food in there.
Oh.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and
I got a
roll?
4.
Oh,
You got a 4.
I
Okay.
brought the vinegar. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a setback. Since you're trying to make something caustic here, I think the best would either it's going to cost you a resource of some sort, or you're going to burn yourself in the outing.
What kind of resource could I burn?
Okay, if you don't have anything in particular in mind, just roll a d3, and it's that many coins worth of equipment. So maybe you get it on you, and it burns through. I don't know, maybe your armor, or maybe it burns through some other gear that you have. Basically, with just roll a
I'll have it
d3,
burn
that's how
through
many
my
coins
armor.
it's going to cost to replace whatever it burns.
I'll have it burn through my armor.
Okay. Yeah, good enough. So yeah, you're gonna have to patch up your armor before it can be used again. But it was a success, setback or not. So Chuck,
Yes.
locks dissolve. You get in there, and you and Plinskin here are going to start stealing some of this food. Let's see if you can do it
Yeah.
quietly enough to get it all off board before
Yeah.
anyone's notified. Now you're going to have 2 skill ups. Both of you guys ahead of you succeeded. So whatever your die is on this, your skill die, just up it 2 times.
Okay. So for me, that would be bumping my D8 for stealth up to a D12.
Okay, so 2 d12s. Watch them roll double ones.
I didn't. I got an 8.
Oh, let's see. Is there another reroll there? Captain threw a few in. I don't know if we
Captain-
used them all.
I think there is
so.
because I was
Yeah.
given the offer of using one, but I neglected it.
All
Do
right.
you want to use that reroll?
15. I'll use it.
That's a good solid success. So here's what we're gonna do, Chuck. 15. So we're just gonna say it's roll me a d10.
Yeah. 5.
Okay. All right. You get some quality food thrown overboard. So that's 5 weeks of food that you were able
Nice.
to add to the stores, and it's good food. Good quality food that you just stolen from this poor ship captain stores. And as you guys sneak out, you did well enough that you sneak away. You see your friend there juggling an axe, an apple, a dagger, and some really soiled drawers.
Ew. Okay. But we've got food.
You do. You do. You got several extra weeks of food, which might come into use. If we come back to this again, we'll see. I am going to send an email off to the authors of the game and see if we can get some clarification on a few things. Yeah, maybe we'll continue this for another session. They do have an extensive extra section in the book on basically doing a ship hex crawl.
Ooh, nice. That's
That might
cool.
be a lot of fun. Yeah, we're even going to roll to see how well the ship manufacturing ended up being. The ship gets hull points and all kinds of other stuff that's a little bit randomized.
I like that.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So this was Swords of Meropis. Meropis. Swords and Sandal role-playing game. Out now. You can get it on drive-thru and PDF, hardback or softback. Interesting system. And, well, Chuck, what are you guys doing on Defenders Cobalt?
So Wednesday, we're continuing our Night Below campaign that John and Bert are in. Friday, we're continuing our Anvia campaign, a game that Joe's making. So John, Jake, and I are players in that. And then, if my memory serves me correctly, hopefully Saturday, we'll finally be able to get back to Weird Frontiers over on Goodman Games.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, Jake or John, you guys have anything else you want to plug?
Not at the moment.
Ditto.
Soon, maybe.
Okay. Chuck, feel free to drop a link in
yeah.
the chat there if I don't have a hyperlink for you guys yet.
Sure.
But on the rest of the week on my channel on Tuesday, we should be back to our werewolf game. Long delayed for the Christmas break and me being sick. But we're getting back to that. I'm sure Captain Carrion in chat will be grateful to hear that. He's got a pretty interesting character in that game. Friday, back to basic expert Dungeons and Dragons. Saturday should be official Goodman Games, playing some Weird Frontiers. Maybe the last episode in that. Over a year? Well over a year we've been playing
well
that
over.
I'll
We
believe
just got to
it when I
kill
hear it.
Dan.
Yeah, we just got to shoot Dan in the first half hour and we'll be done, I think.
Yeah.
Or
Problem
your
solved.
gambler will pull cards that kills the rest of the party all at once, along with Dan. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. All of
That'll be
that could
sad.
happen.
Well, we'll call it that for our New Year's Day Eve game. Happy New Year's to everyone out there watching. Yeah. Just say good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
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 See y'all next year.
Goodbye.